Hi, we are Team Fettuccine from Section 9 of Dr. Lucky's LB-145 lab, and we studied Pseudoxanthoma elasticum.
Pseudoxanthoma elasticum, also known as PXE, is a genetic disorder affecting the skin characterized by increased skin laxicity in dermal areas that require high elasticity. This increased laxicity is a result of the calcification and degradation of elastic fibers in the extracellular matrix of the affected dermal areas. Other serious symptoms that develop as the disease progresses include stroke, progressive visual spatial field loss, and the coronary artery disease arteriosclerosis. In an attempt to capture the holistic perspective of PXE, we designed a sociological experiment in which we recreated the symptoms of PXE to simulate 30 days in the life of an afflicted patient. To simulate excess skin laxicity, we wrapped self-adhering bandage wrap around the neck, elbows, and knees of the pseudo-patient. We measured the circumference of the group member's limb as a base value, and then each week added 2.5 inches to the circumference of the bandage wrap to simulate the disease's progression. We also recreated progressive visual spatial field loss using a modified pair of sunglasses. We fastened a stretched layer of nylon over the lenses to simulate mild vision loss, then added one additional layer in week 2 and again in week 3. To quantify the progressive vision loss, we had the pseudo-patient take a standard vision test each week. In addition to an accumulation of the previous week's symptoms, during week 4 we introduced the stroke. We used a random number generator to pick a number 1 through 24 to represent the 24 hours of the day. The pseudo-patient would then lose right body functionality at the specified random time of the day for 1 hour. If the pseudo-patient would be asleep during the generated time, they would set an alarm for that time of night to simulate waking up to a stroke. Because the phenotypical expression of PXE is so unusual, adverse psychological effects can ensue along with the physical effects. In order to assess both aspects throughout the disease progression, the pseudo-patient took the RAND 36-item health survey each week.
The first time I went in public with the bandages on and the nylon sunglasses, I felt very uncomfortable. It felt like I wasn't wearing my contacts because my vision was just blurry, but I could still see everyone staring at me and giving me weird looks. I threw on my sweatshirt as quickly as I could because I was embarrassed of the way I looked. As more nylon was attached to the sunglasses, I no longer could see facial expressions, and it took a lot of effort even for me to read a text message. All I could see was the outline of people and things, with brighter areas being easier to see than those in dark areas. By the time I had taken the vision test in week 3, I could no longer see the paper on the wall or the outlines of people. During the hour where I had a stroke and lost functionality on my right side, it became very hard for me to perform any of my daily functions, as I now had to perform everything with my non-dominant left side and couldn't see what I was doing. Needless to say, this experience was eye-opening, and the psychological and physiological effects that I experienced during this period were something that I had never dealt with in my life.
Being a part of the experiment had a lot of negative effects on daily activities. The bandages around my arms, legs, and neck made it very difficult to put clothes on because they added extra material that I had to stretch over to get fully dressed. The loss of vision made studying difficult because notes and textbooks became harder to see. Overall, being a part of the experiment made me realize the difficulties that people with the disease go through every day, including the social and physical implications.
The purpose of our 30-day experiment was to supplement the reductionist lab portion of the semester by introducing a holistic consideration of PXE. In determining how the disease affected the life of a PXE patient, we found that the patient was affected negatively in all 8 categories of the RAND 36-item health survey, with the greatest negative change occurring in a patient's physical functioning. Simple everyday tasks such as getting dressed and writing are affected by this disease, and this experiment enabled us to gain an understanding of what living with a disease such as PXE is like, and to gain an appreciation for those who are forced to endure this disease every day.